Good morning, everybody. Welcome back in to Wake Up and Ball, powered by BetUS. We are excited to continue to talk ball right here on Roundtable Sports. Thank you all so much for all the support, man. Wake up, get your coffee out of your Wake Up and Ball mug, preferably, but you got to get yours off the store before you can do that. Welcome back to the show, Tony Dow. Good morning, my friend.
What's up, Richie? Good morning to you, sir. Thank you, everybody who's watching right now for waking up and balling with us. We got a lot to talk about as usual. Glenn, good morning. JT, shout out to the mod squad. Shout out to all the members of the channel. Where are the members at, man? We ain't got no members to the channel. Hit that join button below and wake up and ball with us every morning. Let's go.
Yeah, really, where's the members at? Where are the members? Let's get into it, man. Thank you all so much. I mean, Glenn's the member. We got Glenn as a member. Glenn, do us a favor. Smash all of the emojis right now because you are a member. One of our only members here on Roundtable Sports. Don't forget to hit the like button, folks. We appreciate you guys big time. We got a lot of fun things planned in today's show because there's a lot of NFL rumors heating up across the space of the NFL. Free agency's right around the corner. All right? Let's do it. TD. There's a lot of things going on, man. I don't even know where to go with this topics, man. There's so much. What are you thinking?
Listen, man. There is a lot going on in the NFL, but there's also some things going on in the NBA as well. I did hear some stuff. What's up with LeBron James pulling this quick one, man? It's kind of embarrassing. You know, he waited to the very last minute to opt out of the All-Star game, not allowing a replacement. Like, what's up with that, man? What's up with your guy, man, Richie?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's putting his health over the All-Star game. Sorry.
He could have been did that, Richie. Why he wait to the last minute? He waited to the last minute so he could enjoy all the perks that came with it.
What perks?
Instead of just the perks, the whole weekend, all the stuff being an all-star gets you. No, man, that was pretty, man. I ain't gonna lie, Richie, your boy going out sad, man.
I mean, listen, I don't agree with anything that the media is saying. I mean, listen, that's what the world does. When you're that big of a name, anything you do is under a microscope. The littlest thing that you do. Oh, he sat out of the All-Star game, and I was like, oh, does this hurt LeBron's legacy? Is he selfish? Is he this? Is he that? I mean, give me a break. Wow. Really? I mean, come on, man. What are we doing here? The guy has discomfort. He's 40 years old, dominating the league, and we're going to cry that he didn't play in the All-Star game? Last I checked, nobody likes the All-Star game in the first place. Now everyone cares? I mean, pick a side. The guy is over 40 years old, and he has ankle soreness. I mean, come on. What are we doing here? Why is this even a topic?
You got to stop defending this man so fearlessly, Richie.
I mean, if no one's going to do it, I will. I don't care.
Listen, man. Well, enough about Prince James.
You brought it up, not me.
Listen, what's up with this? How do you feel about what Darius Garland said, though?
What did Darius Garland say?
The 4-point shot. Look at that.
What did he say? He wants a 4-point shot? I didn't see that.
Yeah, the league should bring in a 4-point shot.
That'd
what do you
ridiculous.
think about that? Why do you think that? I mean, if it's coming from, the logo,
would ruin the game, man.
Why?
There's a 4-point shot already in the league, and he's got to get fouled and connect it. So, come on, man. The league is already transitioned into a complete different trajectory of 3-point shooting. I would not be down for that. Chat, would you guys want them to implement a 4-point shot in the NBA? And also, I want you all to rank your top 5 teams in the NBA right now, because that's what this topic is going to be. Top 5 NBA teams heading into the rest of the season. We're coming off the All-Star break, which I'm excited about. I think there's a lot of interesting things to talk about regarding the NBA. All right.
Well, we know who's number 1. Let's get that straight now.
No, you don't.
Come on, Richie. The Celtics. It's clear as day.
They ain't no number 1. No, they're not.
Oh, Richie, why do you continue to disrespect the Celtics?
They're not number 1. I would not put them at number 1.
They're the best team in the NBA. I mean, you don't think so?
No. There's a team way better than them.
Who?
Oklahoma City Thunder.
No, they're not. Stop the
They
cap.
are.
Listen, man, they're too young.
They're
Like,
too young. They have the best record in the league.
Yeah,
They're
that's
first in every single
season.
category. They have an MVP front runner. SGA is miles better than Jason Tatum. I mean, come on, man. SGA.
The Celtics do it by committee. They're a real true team.
So are the OKC Thunder. What do you mean they don't do it by committee? They got a real deep team with youth. They are built for success. They have all the first-round picks you can imagine. They've outscored opponents 12.9 points per game, which would be the best point differential in the NBA history, what they're doing right now. I think you don't know what the OKC Thunder are doing. You're just delusional with your Boston Celtics.
Listen, the road to the championship, the Bill O'Brien goes through
The who?
Boston. I said Bill O'Brien, like the Bill O'Brien Award. I don't know why I did that. Larry O'Brien. It goes through Boston. It's that simple.
No, it doesn't.
Do you know that they're who's the betting favorites right now, Richie? Have you seen that?
The betting favorites?
To win it all.
I have not seen that. Let's check that.
Exactly.
The betting favorites. Okay, let's see.
Exactly.
All right, here are the betting favorites to win the NBA championship. If you guys want to check out BetUS to make your bets, go over to their website. Use the code YouTube150 to sign up today. You got the Celtics at plus 220, and the Thunder are right behind them at plus 225.
Right behind them, but not quite where they are.
By 5 points. Give me a break. That's just
matter.
biased because they won it last year. That's the only reason for it. I like the odds for the Knicks, though, at plus 1,200. Good value there. So if you guys want to go check out BetUS, go use the code YouTube150 to sign up today for a 150% bonus on your first deposit and then 125% on your next two. That's up to $2,000. Always big shout out to BetUS Sportsbook. Where would you rank the Knicks in your top 5, TD?
I don't see them anywhere in my top 5.
I mean, every single power rankings in the world has them in the top 5, but you?
What's their odds? What's their odds to win a championship?
That just proves you're a hater, bro.
What were the
you don't watch ball. I don't think you watch ball.
What were the odds?
You have 6 kids. You're moving into a new house. You're not watching NBA.
Odds? I am watching NBA. What were the odds of the Knicks winning the championship? 1,200. And what rank was that for them?
1, 2.
Keep going.
3. I think they're 4th.
They're 4th or they're tied?
No, they're 4th. Yeah.
They're
ahead of the Denver Nuggets.
I gotta check. See, I gotta.
It goes Celtics,
Richie.
Oklahoma City Thunder.
No, put it on the screen. I don't trust that, Richie. I don't.
Okay. All right. Look,
I gotta see this.
It's not in order, so you got to look at it. Right. Celtics at number 1 plus 220. Thunder is second plus 225, and then the Cavs are third plus 750. And then the Knicks are at plus 1,200. Is there a
Scroll
team?
Scroll down.
Yeah. These are all the bottom feeders. So the Knicks are plus 1,200, which is 4th best odds to win the NBA title.
Look at the little Knicks.
See, stop disrespecting my squad. I don't think you watch ball.
That's regular season numbers, man.
There's no regular season numbers. These are odds to win the whole thing, man. What the Knicks are doing, Karl-Anthony Towns just dominated back-to-back 40-point games before the All-Star break. The Knicks, by the way, the only team in the league to have 2 starters in the All-Star game because they're that good. And they're getting healthier at the right time. Jalen Brunson is also doing something we've never seen in NBA history. First time to put up 25-plus points, 7-plus assists, and less than 2.5 turnovers per game. Put some respect in my Knicks, man, because you don't do that.
I do respect.
They are top 5 in the league. You have to admit that. They're
not top 5. They are a good team, but they're not top 5. I like Denver over them. I like OKC.
The Knicks swept Denver this year. Swept them.
That's fine. Listen, we're talking playoffs. We know what time it is.
We swept them.
Okay. I like
and we have a better record than them.
Boston. If anything, if I'm going to be generous, I'll put you at 5.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I'll put you at 5.
Yeah, but we're not outside of the top 5.
But I guess the team that I am impressed with, even though I don't like this guy, the Lakers, man, they've been doing their thing.
Oh, that is a team to watch because now with Luka Doncic coming over, man, I'm really excited about that. So the NBA All-Star break was an interesting situation. Did you watch any of it?
No.
Yeah. So why you crying about it? So let's move on.
It's the All-Star game. I just saw LeBron
Oh
shenanigans.
yeah, see the LeBron this, LeBron that. Folks, hit the like button because TD hates it.
Well, maybe you could fill me in because what is this I hear about Chris Paul and Wemby trying to cheat the skills contest? What was that?
That was
about?
wild.
I saw the replay on it.
The skills contest. Are you familiar with the skills contest is?
Yeah, I am.
It's like an obstacle course, and you race. And I think part of the contest is there's 3 balls, and you have to shoot all 3 of them, and then until you hit it, you move on. But if you miss all 3 of them, you can keep moving on. So instead of shooting all 3, they just threw them instead of actually like shooting them, and that they got disqualified. So like as part of the obstacle, you have to pass through a ring. You got to dribble through these obstacles, and then there's 3 basketballs to shoot. If you miss all 3 of them, you still move on, but you got to shoot all 3.
So did they intentionally get disqualified?
No, they didn't think they'll get disqualified. They just felt like they found a loophole.
But what was the benefit? Don't you want to make them for points? I mean,
no points. It's time. It's how fast you can get through the obstacle.
Got it. See, Chris Paul has always been trying to take shortcuts in his career. And that's why Rajon Rondo had a better career, a championship career.
Can you go one basketball conversation without bringing up Rajon Rondo? Like, that's the most random guy.
Chris Paul will never win a chip.
Do you realize how tiring you are?
Rondo said he wouldn't.
When it comes to talking ball, you are tiring because you bring up the same people every single. Like, why is Rajon Rondo's name gets brought up every single conversation we have about basketball? Chat, do you care about Rajon Rondo? Like, who cares about that guy?
I'm just saying, Richie, he'll never win a championship.
Oh, my God.
Rajon Rondo has 2 chips.
All right. In other news, if you have some downtime, which I know you don't, Netflix just came out with a brand new documentary, which is really sick. I watched the first two episodes last night. It's called Court of Gold, and it's the behind the scenes of the Olympics, of basketball Olympics. Really cool stuff. And it really fired me up. You get to see Team USA come together and how, Victor Wembanyama is coming from France. And, like, it just really shows you the magnitude. It went over the Dream Team in 1992 and how that really was the first time that USA basketball was, like, on the map. Well, you know why that Dream Team even got assembled in the first place, which is a cool story that they broke down. So, really cool. Guys, if you're into basketball, definitely go watch the Court of Gold documentary on Netflix. I watched the first episode. I was like, wow, this is really good.
Court of Gold.
Yeah. And the Olympics was dope. You know how they got gold and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Was Rondo on Team USA? No, he's trash. They only bring the elite of the elite on Team USA.
Oh, no. I remember Rondo was on Team USA trying out. And they went with Chris Paul as well instead. And that's whenever our U.S. team embarrassed us, ladies and gentlemen. They had to get it back together and figure it out the very next year.
What year?
Whatever year the USA team was trash. And then it was the year before LeBron, D-Wade, all of those guys played in it. Curry.
2004?
Whatever year they were bad. You forgot the year where they were like a redeemed team or whatever?
I think 2004 is when they didn't win. Let me see.
Yes. I just remember they had to create the quote-unquote redeemed team.
Well, 2012 was like that, the team that they compared the Dream Team to. Let me see.
If that was the redeemed team, then it was
2004 was the only time USA did not win gold. The USA has won every year. So 2004, and it's a cool little story. I mean, 1988, the Soviet Union beat USA in the gold game. And in 1988, at that stage of Team USA basketball, it was college kids.
Mm-hmm.
Representing Team USA. And at that time, Soviet Union beating the USA, Team USA was like, no, that's not a good look for us. So what the Team USA did is they got a committee, they put more energy into it.
I remember.
They're like, you know what? 1992, we're going to assemble the Dream Team. And that's when they brought in NBA talent and got Jordan, Larry, Magic Johnson, all those boys. And then that's what really put the Team USA on the map. And then they won 3 straight just to lose in 2004, and then they've been dominating ever since.
2004. You know who was on that roster?
2004?
Mm-hmm.
D-Wade?
Who else?
John Rondo?
Stop it.
Carmelo Anthony? Young Melo?
I think they went with like Darren Williams or something like that. You remember?
Yeah. But if you're interested, definitely go watch the documentary. It was really, really cool. Really, really cool to see that and how much it means to these players, and that the way that they assembled this past year's Olympics, getting LeBron, Steph Curry, first time ever in the Olympics. That was a really cool story. Kevin Durant is the best part about it, though, because like you got Team France getting all cocky because they beat them in the Olympics in like the first opening round in the 2020. But then they lost in the gold medal game. They got Victor Wembanyama. Team France is like, we got the continuity. They got all, and then Kevin Durant cuts to the interview. He's like talking so much trash before the Olympics even started. So it was really cool to see how competitive they are. Really, really cool.
Yeah. And how often are the Olympics again?
Every 4 years.
Yeah. Okay. I got it.
Yeah.
When's the next one and where is it?
2028. Isn't it in America? Or no, that's the World Cup.
So did we win in 2008?
Oh, yeah. The Olympics is in America. Los Angeles. This 2028. It's in LA. That's going to be wild.
2028.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. Woo! Olympics is coming home, baby. I got to go to one of those games, man. That's going to be sick. I didn't realize that this is the year, not this year, but the next one. So it's going to be in LA. There's going to be a lot of, there's some rumors that there may be flag football for football.
No, there is. There's no rumor. That's official now.
It is official. That's happening?
Yeah. Flag football is a thing now. Yeah, I mean, well, just in general, they've added flag football to the Olympics.
Hey, while I was watching the Olympics last night, I thought of this exact thing. Roundtable Sports to cover the Olympics. I was like, yo. And now that it's in America.
That's huge. 2028.
That's good for you. I mean, TD, if it was anywhere else, I'd still be going, but I know you're afraid of leaving the country.
Yeah. Listen, Richie, don't say afraid. I'm just wise not to.
I've left the country. I'm leaving the country in a few months.
Hey, Richie. Hey, you're a risk taker, Richie. I love it.
Oh, man. Listen, I think that the Olympics coming home to America is going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll be able to cover it in 3 years. That would be really cool. Yeah, especially if there's flag football and like we have NFL players.
Mm-hmm.
We better win.
Well, Tyreek said he wants to play. So I don't know if he'll still be we're gonna lose now. In shape. Yeah, Tyreek's racing this guy. You heard about that?
Who? Yeah, I did see that.
Like, I guess supposedly the fastest guy or something like that. It's official.
Noah Lyles?
Yeah.
Yeah, Noah Lyles is the Olympian.
Yeah, they're supposed to. Noah Lyles says race will help keep track relevant.
We'll see.
I don't know when it is.
Glenn, with a member chat, says, come to the AFC East Roundtable tonight to get a chance to win free Roundtable membership. $50 value. Whoa, Glenn.
Yeah.
For Patreon, man. Wow. Glenn is giving away a Patreon tonight. So make sure you guys come through the AFC East Roundtable tonight, which we're excited about. Big time shout out to Glenn. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. We got a lot of fun things happening here on Roundtable Sports. Let's get into some other conversations because it's a lot of fun, man. It is a lot of fun talking about everything you need to know about all these sports, man. Because guess what, TD? Baseball's back. Woo, your favorite. Let's talk about the top 5 baseball teams because you're a fan of a respective team in the Texas Rangers, right? Why don't you guess where they're ranked on MLB.com heading into this season?
I would guess third.
No, not even close.
Really? Is it that bad?
Yeah, they're not near the top 5.
But when they
You
win,
know
they
what?
never.
Some rankings, CBS has them at 7. Okay.
Oh, okay. Some respect.
Guess where the Mets are?
Probably second.
3rd. Should be 2nd.
I already know who first.
You got to know who's first. Come on.
The best team in the league.
They're like ruining baseball.
The Yankees.
They sign everybody. No.
The
Yankees
Dodgers?
Yes. Dodgers are ruining. Now, I can't say ruining baseball because the Mets are trying to replicate them, but Dodgers are just unbelievable in terms of every single offseason they're making a splash. So the Dodgers are number 1, according to this article. Braves 2, Mets 3, Yankees 4. Sorry, Yankees fans. The Mets have now officially taken over the city of New York, and that will be proven this year. Phillies 5. So the cool thing about the Mets, TD, is you talk about divisions. The Mets are easily, in my opinion, in the toughest division in baseball. 3 of the top 5 are in the Mets division, NL East. You got the Atlanta Braves, Philadelphia Phillies, and the New York Mets, all the top 5. And baseball is very similar to football, where divisions matter. It's a race for the pennant, is what they call it. Race for winning the division, gets you home field in the playoffs, and then race for the pennant to win the whole league to get into the World Series.
What about the Phillies?
Phillies are right there at 5.
Are they top 5? Okay, yeah, I figured.
Yeah,
that.
so the Phillies, the Braves, and the Mets are all in the same division, and they're all top 5.
So are the Padres like 7th or something like that?
Padres are, on this article, not in the top 5. Wow. Top 10, I mean.
Wow, really? Okay.
No, yeah, on this one, they're 9. So they're flirting. I mean, the Padres are interesting. They just got to stay healthy. So we're going to be watching baseball all season. All right? All season. We're excited about it.
Got to do some watch parties.
Yeah, we got to get you to some games. All right, man. Let's get into some football talk because rumors are circulating around the world. I want to talk about Sammy D. Landing spots for Sam Darnold. Where is Sam going to end up? Is he coming back to the Minnesota Vikings, or is he going to find a new home? Will the Vikings slap the franchise tag on him? Will he get an extension with the Minnesota Vikings, or will he find a new home? Raiders, Jets, Browns, Steelers, and others are the possibility. Chat, you guys let us know who you got landing Sam Darnold right now. Where you thinking, TD?
I'm not gonna sleep on a team like the Jets. Have you ever considered, what if Aaron Glenn brings Sam Darnold in and say, let me correct the mistake of the past. It was all coaching. Let me show you how it's done.
TD, that'll fire me up.
Richie, you would probably have a field day. Listen, y'all better go after Cam Ward. I'll say this. Sam needs to go get his money. That's what this all comes down to. If Sam wants to keep winning and stay in a favorable situation, he tells Minnesota, I'm willing to take a big pay cut to come back here. I'll take $20 million a year on like a 4-year deal. Just guarantee $50 million of it for me. If he wants to continue winning. I fear for Sam going to a team, being the man and out there on an island and don't have the same weapon, same friendly system, don't have the same coach. I fear that for him because that's the type of quarterback he is. It reminds you of Nick Foles with the Eagles. What was Nick Foles after that Super Bowl?
Backed up.
It was a perfect situation. You had everything to your disposal around you. So it's a tough situation. So he got to decide if he wants to go after the money or success.
But what are the Vikings' perspective of this, right? Are they
the problem with
considering
the Vikings,
opening up the bag for him or not?
The problem with the Vikings is that they have too many options. They can go get a cheaper free agent just as good. They might could go get a free agent that's better. You put Aaron Rodgers in this situation.
Ooh, Aaron Rodgers.
In the clutch moment, you feel a little more comfortable.
Aaron Rodgers.
Even Russell Wilson. So, and then you have Daniel Jones. Do you believe you could do with him what you did with Sam Darnold? And don't forget, you got the rookie getting healthy. So they just have so many options. So it's hard to really say what they're going to do.
Sam to the Raiders and then draft Dart to sit and learn behind him. I think that would be a really good idea for the Raiders. Bills fan for life says, question, Richie and TD, have you guys thought about expanding the show to NHL? And then you guys will have NBA, NFL, MLB, and the NHL. So my perspective of this is, see, this is the problem. TD is not into baseball, but I am, so I'm getting him into baseball. Neither of us are into hockey, so there's no one.
That's not true. That's
not okay,
true.
then get me into it then, because you're going to lie to people that you're into hockey now. Okay.
I don't have to lie to people, Richie.
Name 5 players in the NHL.
Michael Thierry, John Tremont, Philip Rimio, however you pronounce his name, Dylan Chan, and Pike Maloro. I think.
All right, then you gotta. I mean, I already got my team.
I can name I can name another 5, Richie.
All right, I didn't know you were into the NHL like that. Good for you.
I ain't into the NHL, Richie.
Names?
I just gave you random names.
I had a feeling. I'm like, why do I feel like he's giving me random ass names right now? Those names sound so fake. Even though I did see the whole USA versus Canada whole thing, which was cool. I turned that on a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
I was like,
oh, okay. I didn't know.
Random ass names, man. Because those are what those sound like hockey names. Random ass names I never heard of. You know what I mean?
Oh man, that was a good one.
If you had a hockey team, who is it?
Whatever one in South Florida.
I was about to say, pick the freaking Florida team for once, man. Stop going outside of your team, bro.
Oh man. But yeah, Florida.
Oh, Panthers, Flyers, man. JT. Are you kidding me? What? No.
But you know what I do love to watch, Richie?
How are you a Philadelphia Flyers team fan, bro? Who?
You know what I do love to watch? I love tennis. I love watching tennis. Yeah, like I mean, I don't watch all the time, but like those big tournaments, I love watching tennis. Like I pick somebody and I like to see them go and see how far they can get.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm an Islanders fan for sure. But I never really got into them. I grew up right 5 minutes from where they used to play at the Coliseum. I'm not a big hater of the Rangers. I also, will root for the Rangers because of the Garden. So, but I just don't have knowledge of the sport like I do other sports. I didn't grow up with it, which is why I don't feel right talking about a sport. I just don't feel like I know it. I'm confident talking about baseball, football, and basketball, but not hockey.
What about golf?
Yeah, it's another sport I never really got into. I don't even.
Have you ever played it?
Yeah, all my friends play, and they're trying to get me out in the ring, but I'm like, yeah, nah, bro.
He said out in the ring. Wow.
I mean, out in the.
Out on the course.
Out in the course. See.
On the green.
I'm thinking hockey. It's all right, man. Yeah. I'll just route you up like I always do when we meet up. That's
Cap.
All right, TD.
I give you one little route and you run with it.
Yeah, one route. Top NFL free agents for the 2025 free agency's heating up, man. The franchise tag is starting, but I feel like there's a lot of NFL free agents. DJ Reed is a big name that I made a TikTok about yesterday. Some landing spots. He's probably the best corner available on the market. Sam Darnold we talked about. Khalil Mack, the veteran. Russell Wilson, the quarterback market. If you want to pull up the notable free agents list so you have it on your screen so we can really talk about these landing spots. Anybody in the chat, let's do it. So I think there's a lot of interesting things to talk about. Let's start off with DJ Reed. You know, Sarah already is saying, I hope we sign DJ Reed, who is Sarah's a Vikings fan. I said it in my TikTok. I think DJ Reed going to Minnesota with a Brian Flores-led system would be flawless. He's very sticky in man coverage, and I think you need secondary help if you're Minnesota. I can definitely see the Vikings doing that, opening up the bag. They have the cap space for it. Can you see DJ Reed fitting with Brian Flores?
I don't know. Yeah, but how is he in zone coverage?
He's solid in zone. I mean, the Jets played mostly zone.
Yeah. I think that would, come to think of it, he would probably be an excellent piece for Brian Flores. Remember, they brought in Stephon Gilmore and gave him an itty-bitty resurgence in his career. And you put DJ Reed over there getting paid and being that lockdown guy, that could be a nasty work for that defense. Because remember, Flores likes the blitz with the zero. So if he has the good coverage on the back end, yeah, he wants that. He'd love that.
Yeah, I could definitely see Reed going to Minnesota. I think that's a really good destination for him. The Raiders is another team that could be interesting. They have some cap space to work with if they want to get a big piece addition to their secondary with Pete Carroll, who was all of a sudden in win-now mode. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's another team. I think DJ Reed is going to find an interesting home, man. I really do.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where he goes. I know whoever gets him is definitely going to help him big time. I value corners. I value corners so much more than a lot of these other top positions in the league. I just feel like corners allow you to be so versatile on defense and do so many other things if you got a lockdown guy. I just think it actually might be the most valuable position
in the most
football.
Valuable position in football, corner,
because of if you lock your man down
after quarterback. You mean?
Yeah, but again, the quarterback is too dependent.
No.
That's all I'm saying.
There. The quarterback is the most valuable, and then number two is your second.
No, I understand that. I guess what I'm saying, from a game plan standpoint.
But I'd argue that's even false. I don't think corner is the second most valuable either.
Well, maybe I shouldn't have used the word value. Maybe I should have used the word the most impactful.
Still don't think it's
for defense. I do. I just think that if with the right coach, what a great DB can do for you, cutting off half the field, allowing you to use additional resources.
You know what a great defensive end can do? 10 times more impactful.
No, because you can get the ball out quick. You can get the ball out quick.
You can throw the ball to the other side of the field.
Yeah, but again, you can game plan against that though.
You can't game plan against the defensive end. Nice try.
Yeah, yes, you can. One. Get rid of the ball quick. It's that simple.
Yeah, that's a lot easier said than done, TD.
It's not. That's why they say even in Miami, the frustrating thing about Tua, why he's one of the least sacked, is because even if you go untouched, the ball is already gone. Like I've heard defensive ends and said it's frustrating.
So if you have a draft and you're building a team, building a defense, you're taking the best corner available over the best defensive lineman available.
If I can get a lockdown corner, I'll take that anyway. You know why? Because I don't have to have the best edge rusher because there's such thing as coverage sacks.
Yeah, but there's also such thing as you give the quarterback enough time, and even the greatest corners in the world can't cover for 5+ seconds.
Yeah, well, no, the greatest corners in the world shut their man down regardless and glue to him.
Darrelle Revis, the best one-on-one corner of all time.
That's why I say that's the value of them if you find one.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think you look at the trenches. I think the trenches are a little bit more important than you think.
Well,
and Hazy brought up a good point, and that's what I was about to say. Look at the Eagles just did. I mean, the trenches.
No, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Like the trenches did. The trenches did help them win the Super Bowl, but did you not see the back end coverage for the Eagles?
Did you not
see that Mahomes was like, nowhere?
But did you not see the immediate pressure, interior pressure, every single snap, relentless 4-man rush?
But Mahomes didn't even have a hot He didn't even have a guy. They manned up so much in that game.
Well, what made that one specifically different, you know why, is because the Eagles didn't blitz. So they had 7 in the coverage. Of course, you're going to blanket people when you have 7 people dropping back in coverage. That's what made it ridiculous. So when you have a 4-man rush, winning that efficiently and getting to the quarterback in 2 seconds, I mean,
the problem with the Chiefs is they didn't have a legitimate run game to lean on.
Yeah, and the trenches won them the game.
How you counter that, you run the freaking football, and they didn't have an effective enough run game. If they if it was the Ravens playing against that same Philly team, the Ravens would have been gashing them in the run. But they would have had to come down here in the run, and now you got more open up in the secondary, and you're going to need those corners. I mean, the Chiefs just don't have a legitimate run game.
Yeah, I mean, why didn't the Chiefs have a good run game?
Because they don't have,
because of the trenches.
They don't
because of the elite defensive line of the Eagles. That's why. The Chiefs have had a run game all season, and they shut it down because of the elite defensive line of the Eagles, which is why you need defensive line.
No, it wasn't just the 4-man rush, Richie, on the run game.
No, of course it wasn't the 4-man rush. It was the front 7, which is the linebackers included.
Mm-hmm.
Not defensive backs.
Listen, like I said, if the Baltimore Ravens was playing that same Eagles team, the Ravens, and they would have played it the same way, the Ravens would have ran all over the Eagles. That 4-man rush wouldn't have been enough. They would have.
Listen, man, I think you're looking at it from the wrong perspective. The defensive line was the story of the Eagles' dominance.
No, I know that. I know that.
And when you have that good of a defensive line and you can get that much pressure with a 4-man rush, you can have practice squad guys in the secondary and they'll look good because you have dropping 7 in coverage.
Yeah,
and you have 4 people rushing.
In that particular matchup, I get it. But once again, if they would have been playing a team that would have been able to impose their will in the run game, they wouldn't have been able to survive just off of 4.
The Chiefs were able to impose their will in the run game all season long. They were able to run the ball. That's how they won 15 games.
They can run the ball, but they're not like a top 5 run offense, Richie. I'm talking about. So what you're telling me is that front 4 would have shut down the run game of Baltimore. That's what you're telling me.
Not shut down, but limit it for sure and force them to throw with Lamar, yeah.
And, well, hold on. Another thing, Patrick Mahomes couldn't run like that either, by the way. But come on, Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, they would have not been just trying to go with 4 all game. It just would not have even been in the game plan.
Well, you're thinking of it also when they're passing, you're rushing 4. When they're running, they're not rushing 4. They're rushing the whole team, right? You got to have play recognition. And
but the difference with the Eagles, even their 4-man rush was stopping the run game against the Chiefs. Even that front 4,
when they hand the ball off, you got Zach Bond and you got all these linebackers plugging up the holes too. They're swarming.
Yeah. Of course, but that balanced offense like Baltimore with a real run threat, I understand the Chiefs can run the ball, but you get the Chiefs get you all balanced, and that's why they could run the ball. But just bludgeoning you down the field in the run game, the Chiefs aren't that. They just aren't that. They're a balanced team. They got you guessing. Well, Baltimore, they could run the ball down your throat. And I'm telling you, the Eagles, they would have had to devote more in the box. And now you would see why that secondary and those corners are more important. And again, Richie, it's a matchup thing. It's a matter of the matchups. So there's some matchups
Eagles and the
where
Ravens did play this past season, and the Eagles won, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Well, how did they do? How did they do in the run game?
The run game, the Eagles, the Ravens had 166 yards on the ground.
They ran the ball, but this is the point that I'm making too.
And the Phillies had 118 passing yards, and they still won.
And how many did Lamar have?
237.
But my whole point is the Eagles secondary cover well as well. They are good in that back end.
I think we're
that's
just
the most underrated
how great
piece.
The Eagles are.
Yeah, the whole team is like stacked. But it's crazy when you see all that
They limited
chaos.
Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry had 19 carries and only put up 82 rushing yards. Like, that's my point.
But they had to bring those linebackers up, and they forced the pass more. But it showed you in that game that secondary had to show up. That was a game. How many times did they sack Lamar?
Sacks allowed 3.
3 sacks on Lamar Jackson. And you think they were sending a 4-man rush?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have the thing here, but, it's a weird game because the Eagles, the Ravens dominated total plays. They had more time of possession. They had more rushing yards. They didn't have any turnovers, but they lost. So I don't know how. What was the
score then?
24-19.
Was it like low? Low scoring, 24-19, no turnovers.
But you talk about like you've made it seem like the Eagles would allow the Ravens, wouldn't be able to shut them down. Derrick Henry.
No, I didn't say that.
Had his least amount of yards per carry.
You're missing it. I said that the Eagles would not have played them that way. If it was Baltimore, they would have stopped the box to stop the run for sure. It wouldn't have been a 4-man rush stopping it. That's what I said. And that's exactly what they did. They made sure that Derrick Henry couldn't get off, and then those corners had to guard on the back end by themselves. And they did a good job doing that as well. I just think that we underestimate the secondary of the Philadelphia Eagles. That pass rush is amazing, but that secondary is locked down.
Of course, yeah, but it starts with the trenches, which makes the secondary look good.
It starts with the lockdown, making the trenches look good.
See, that's where we completely disagree. The trenches is what's making the secondary look good. That's what you can't agree with. Right?
No, Lamar Jackson can extend plays and escape pressure.
What does Lamar Jackson have to do with anything?
And for
I'm talking about the Philadelphia Eagles defense.
No, I'm saying,
nothing new Baltimore.
Even in that game, it's the defense. Even in that game, for him to even have 3 sacks shows you that coverage was on lock. He can get out of there on those defensive ends. They're not as fast as him. But the longer he's looking and escaping and nothing's there,
he scored 19 points.
Exactly. That secondary shut it down. He probably had 2 big plays down the field that made
I'm sorry,
up for most
but I'm not going to let you go out here and speak like you know exactly what happened in the game. You didn't watch. I didn't watch the film back. You're just basing it off of the stats.
I remember the game. I remember when Lamar was running for his life.
If you look at the Philadelphia Eagles defense and you would ask Vic Fangio himself, I guarantee you he would say it all starts up front. Like, that's the philosophy of these coaches.
Well, I remember that game, and he wasn't sending 4 all game in that one. He was sending delayed blitzes and everything because he had to. Worked. Because he got a secondary. He got a secondary that'll allow it to work.
No, he has a pass rush that if you can send in some creative blitzes with the linebackers and stuff, I mean, that is literally the scheme of Vic Fangio. And that was the scheme of Saleh. You rush 4, you sprinkle in some blitzes, and when you can get pass rush, that makes the quarterback all over the place, which allows the secondary to look good. That's the philosophy. That's the scheme of Vic Fangio. He's been doing it for years.
Richie, you keep saying it's allowing the secondary to look good. You have to have a great secondary for all that to work. It's not allowing them to look good.
But it starts up front. That's what I'm saying. It starts there, and then the secondary is able to make their plays.
I covered Vic Fangio 2 years ago. The man said you got to have the back end solidified for the scheme to work. You have to. But I'm not saying that the Eagles' D-line wasn't dominant. You have to have those bookends on the outside for the scheme to work. You know why? Because he always sends it on the weak side. Like, guys will rotate. The way his scheme, if you know anything about the scheme, he'll have a weak side. You'll think that side is free, but he'll send a corner blitz, bring the safety down to the corner, bring the other safety over to the safety, bring the corner back. Like, it's unorthodox, but it works. You gotta have that back end solidified for the scheme to work, for the pressure to get there, to make it look like you have something that you don't. I studied his scheme. He was a Dolphin
I'm
last
not
year.
undermining the ability for the back end to be impactful. But my point to this whole conversation is if you have a defense, two defenses, one defense has an elite defensive line that can get to the quarterback efficiently and a not so good secondary. And then you have another defense with a terrible defensive line, not so good defensive line, can't get to the quarterback efficiently, but a very good lockdown secondary. I'm taking the defensive line all day. You want to know why? Because even the greatest secondaries in the world, they cannot cover for 5+ seconds. That's the whole point. If you have a quarterback back there with 5 all day to throw the ball, I don't care who you have in the back end, a wide receiver will get open, which is why you need to get pass rush.
And this is why the entire league has shifted to the dink and dunk quick passes. This is exactly why, to neutralize it. That's what's happening in the NFL now. To neutralize that, get rid of the ball quick. Is that not what the league is shifting to? Even the greatest quarterbacks used to putting up 5,000 and 4,500 yards are now literally dropping their yards per reception by 2-3 yards because they're getting rid of the ball quick. That's how they're neutralizing it. And DCs are saying, well, we need coverage. We need to make sure we can cover now. And the pass rush is an added bonus on top of it. You know how many times you hear these pass rushers say, man, I beat my guy so bad, but the ball was already gone. It didn't even matter. I wasn't even touched, and it didn't matter. The ball was already gone. Yeah, sometimes it's going to be a scrap, and they win, and they sack. But I'm telling you, this league isn't what the league has been shifted to anymore. It's about the secondary being able to cover and being able to be aggressive and get downhill in the shallow area of the field now. It's not about the fight. Now, Jalen Hurts has 5 seconds to throw the ball, but he only throwing for 150 yards a game. So it's showing
because he doesn't need to throw anymore because of how good his run game is.
Which is true, but again, Richie, if you got 5 seconds to throw the ball, don't you think that somebody's breaking open deep or whatever and you'd have 300-400 yards? No, that ain't what the league is now. It's quick passes, dink and dunk to neutralize the pass rush. Guys are not even worried about the pass rush as much anymore. It's the Chiefs' problem is the Philadelphia Eagles secondary was smothering. You know Patrick Mahomes like to hit the quick outlet when the pass rush coming. Hurry up and dump it
that
off.
Game specifically wasn't just the pass rush. It was the interior pass rush. That's what screwed everything up for Mahomes in that specific game. Because he's used to stepping up into the pocket. Every time he stepped up, there was pass rush in his face, right? That was the difference in that specific game because he drops back, there was pressure immediately, and he's used to dancing around the pocket and trying to find the open man, but he couldn't even have a time to even make that decision because the pass rush got there so efficiently. And I think that every coach says this, in my opinion, based off of my knowledge of football, is the best way to neutralize the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL is by getting to them through the pass rush, messing up their timing, messing up their rhythm, forcing them to dink and dunk. Because I'm telling you this, defenses want you to dink and dunk. That is what they want you to do. They want to keep everything in front of them. So that is the defensive game plan. You want these quarterbacks to dink and dunk. You want them to do that instead of going deep.
Why couldn't he even do that, Richie?
Because the Eagles were getting him to him so freaking fast, and they were dropping 7 in coverage, so there was nowhere to dink and dunk.
Richie, you can hike the ball and be able to have a guy to throw to right away. But they didn't have that. Why? Because the Eagles, they'll show
drop 7 back in coverage and they locked it down.
No, Richie.
They did.
There were no outlets or anything. These guys were attaching to the wide receiver right away. You hike the ball, first place Patrick Mahomes, look, a guy's glued to him.
Because they're dropping 7 back.
Well, it doesn't. All I'm saying to you is they're covering. But what's creative? But if they weren't dropping 7, Richie, if they weren't dropping 7, he would be able to get rid of the ball, is what you're saying.
Yeah, if they were rushing more than 4 people, Mahomes would have found the hot route and got it to his guy. But they weren't because that's what makes the scheme so good.
So it starts with the coverage.
No, it's back. No.
You just explained it. I explained it.
No, I explained it perfect.
If you don't have an outlet right away, now the pass rush can get there.
But TD, how come they're able to drop back 7? It's because they're able to get home with 4. That's where it starts. If you can't get home with 4, then you have to rush more.
No, That's my point. Richie, If you
With
drop
that
back
specific scheme.
Richie, no, if you tell me this is 100% a pass play, if you tell me this is 100% pass play and I drop back 7, I have a higher probability of getting there with 4 because I know when I'm dropping back with 7. It's that simple. I have a way higher probability if I'm dropping 7 in the coverage to get to them. They know the Chiefs want to throw the ball. They know the Chiefs want to
Not every team can get home with 4, though. Most quarterbacks will have all day to throw the football with 4 people rushing them.
If you drop 7, every team will get there with 4. Now, some will get there faster than others, but every team will get there with 4. If you drop 7.
But I don't think you're realizing the benefit and what makes these schemes that work this way. Do you know the luxury to be able to drop back 7 in coverage and still get to the quarterback in less than 3 seconds? Do you realize that? That is everything. Like,
yes,
that's where it starts. You can't drop back 7 in coverage every single play unless you have a pass rush to get there in the first place. That's where it starts, and then that allows the secondary to be able to zip it up with 7. That's what I'm trying to say, TD, and I think it keeps going over your head. You're trying to die on your hill. Like, you're very backwards with this.
I think it's backwards the other way because
the reason why they're able to drop back 7 in the first place is because of how good the defensive line is.
No, that was the game plan because they know the Chiefs like to also throw the ball as an extension of the run. The Chiefs had literally in a big game, the Chiefs have this 38 62% pass, 38% run. You play 4 the whole time and drop in coverage. You take away the crosses. You take away the short stuff. The pass rush is going to get there, especially if they know they could tee back and not worry about the run. They don't have to rush while looking at the running back. They can just go because the linebackers are going to be chilling. If they run the ball, we'll collapse. I'm telling you, it's starting on the back end. Fangio's system starts on the back end. As long as you can go ahead and make sure that you're covering, the pass rush will get there eventually. And the better pass rushers I have, the sooner they'll get there. It's just the sooner.
Yeah, I mean, if the Eagles' defensive line got shelled and did not get any pressure, and the secondary was as good as it was, I guarantee it would have been a completely different game. That's all I'm saying.
It wouldn't have. The secondary would have always allowed
it would have been
that
a completely
pressure
different
to
game
eventually
because
get
Mahomes
there.
would have not been under pressure, and he would have been able to make plays with his legs. He would have picked up yards with his legs. He would have found the open man eventually if he gave him enough time. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I disagree with that too because Patrick Mahomes actually escaped a lot too and just was making bad reads. I mean, it wasn't like
he was
nobody
escaping
was ever
immediately.
open.
It wasn't like he had time to escape. He was trying to escape and wasn't able to go.
But he did sometimes.
Yeah, of course he did. But my point is, if you were giving him more time, the reason why he got all flustered was the pressure. And then that's what got him off his game, which made him have an absolutely trash game that he did. And I think if you ask and poll to most coordinators and most defensive minds in the league, they will say it starts up front. Everybody says that. That's the most valuable part of football. You build it inside out. And you can argue the same thing on the offensive side of the ball too.
I actually understand that it does start up front, but Vic Fangio's scheme starts in the back end. He relies on that. Without that, all of that crumbles. Without those corners smothering and batting those passes, if they were back there getting beat, Mahomes would have been heaving it all game. And you saw what he was doing late in the game, but again, even though it was trash time, it wasn't really honing in like that. Mahomes would have been heaving that ball all game if they would have been getting beat in that secondary right away. But trust me, Richie, it does start in the trenches. I understand what you're saying.
And I understand the whole coverage sack.
It don't.
But I'm sorry, but I did not see a lot of coverage sacks in the Super Bowl. It wasn't like Mahomes was back. A coverage sack, in my opinion, is you drop back and you have all day to throw and there's nobody open. And then eventually the pass rush gets home.
No,
that was not the case against that in that specific game.
That's your definition of a coverage sack. A coverage sack to me is
nobody's open.
A coverage sack is anytime you go to your read and it's not there and the pressure gets there. Like, let's be honest. Do you know the Chiefs are one of the teams with the highest first read rate, just like Miami? One of the
You shut
highest
down the first
read
read,
rates.
and then usually you go to the second read and nobody's open, and then the pass rush gets home. That is a coverage sack. I agree.
Yeah, even on the first read, Richie, and I understand that the D line, the
Like
better the D line is.
if you turn the film on for that Super Bowl, every single time Mahomes dropped back, the pass rush got there within two and a half seconds. To me, that's not a coverage sack. A coverage sack is like you have like there's nobody open and you're sitting back there looking for somebody. There's nowhere to go with the ball, and then the pass rush finally gets home.
Well, I actually disagree with the whole pressure in the Super Bowl against Mahomes. Mahomes created a lot of that himself. Like, you know how Jalen Hurts would have nobody within 5 feet to his left, nobody within 5 feet to his right? There were times Mahomes had nobody within 3 feet and 3 feet, but he panicked and moved up into the sack. His guy had great position in front of him.
But that's where you have to give the Eagles credit, though. He moved up because usually there's a space for him to move up, but the Eagles watched the tape, and they knew that's what Mahomes did, and they got interior pass rush, which is very, very important to this whole thing. The interior pass rush was a reason for that excellence of the Eagles.
I agree, but the problem that I have with that, these guys weren't beating them as much as it seemed. Mahomes created situations that allowed them to get beat, his O-line. That's on Mahomes. That's purely on Mahomes stepping up in moments where he didn't have to, being flustered because the pass rush was getting there. And then that's making it even worse. So I get what you're saying. I just think that that coverage played its part as well in that game.
It did. I agree. I'm not saying the coverage did not play its part. I mean, Cooper DeJean with that interception was phenomenal. I mean, how about that? Getting the pick six. I think that the coverage was definitely there. But you also got to talk about there was a lot of plays where there was broken coverage, and the Chiefs did not capitalize. That drop pass by DeAndre Hopkins, there wasn't a person in the vicinity. There wasn't even an Eagle 15 yards near DeAndre Hopkins on that pass, and he dropped it.
The fourth down pass, he had the tight end Watson wide open, and he took the out route, which had great coverage on it. Like, there were opportunities.
Yeah, of course. And listen, no secondary is perfect. And the problem with the Chiefs is they were not able to capitalize when there was some, breakdowns in the secondary. And that's why the Eagles were so flawless, because they dominated in the trenches. They dominated in the back end, which is why they're able to dominate in the Super Bowl. So we shall see. That's going to wrap up this edition of Wake Up and Ball. We have a lot of fun things to talk about throughout the rest of the week.
And that went by fast.
Yeah, man. It's wrapping up.
Another hour, baby. Let's go. No, I got
another hour?
I guess I got an appointment I got to get to.
All right, then wrap it up, man, because this show was powered by BetUS. Big shout out to them. Wake Up and Ball is your go-to morning show. We talked about baseball, basketball, and football today, and some hockey, and some golf, and some tennis. TD, wrap it up for us.
Pickleball. All right,
next.
y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Listen, man, we got 316 people watching between YouTube and Twitter. We appreciate you all tuning in. Everybody on Twitter, make sure you drop over to YouTube and subscribe to the main channel to get even more shows right here on Roundtable Sports. Don't forget, you also can join the Patreon, ladies and gentlemen. Roundtable Sports has a full exclusive Patreon. Go check it out so that you can see all the perks. It's amazing, and it shows love and support to this channel and everything that we're trying to do. Thank you to all those who support us. Thank you for all those who bless us. We appreciate you all.
Much love to everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Peace.